Hi, I'm Brittany here with your art fill of the day. So today I'm going to paint another Pokemon card. These are two of them that I've already done, but today I'm gonna pick one from this stack to paint another one. So I have a couple that are holographic in here, and I am gonna take those ones out. I've also got some trainer cards, it looks like, and energy cards, so I'm gonna pull those out as well. There's a holographic Charmander, I don't want to mess him up. Okay. And then I'm also gonna look at some of the backgrounds, because some of these backgrounds aren't gonna be that fun to paint like the previous ones. So I'll go ahead and pick some out of this stack that I might want to do. Okay, so these are the ones that kind of have interesting enough backgrounds. Okay, and I have two Rattatas with those. Let's see, Oshawott is one of my faves. So are the Fire Cats and Dragonair. Ponyta is one of my favorites, but this doesn't really interest me too much. Just a stable. So this time I think Dragonair wins. I kind of envision taking this underwater and maybe doing some coral and sea creatures underneath. And we'll go ahead and get started. So the first thing I have to do with these is to basically base coat a white around the actual card, around the picture that I am trying to extend. This white that I used is just the regular craft paint that you can get like at Walmart. It's that like the apple barrel. My first layer, I forgot to kind of shake it up so that it was actually mixed. So the first layer was pretty watery, so I definitely had to do 2 layers. Normally you really only have to do 1, but in this case, because I had an error, I had to do 2. And then I go in with a base of the colors that match each like little bit that I'm gonna extend. So in this case it was like a darker blue, a green, and a kind of ocean light greenish blue. And then I went ahead and did like my dividing line of where the surface of this ocean was around Dragonair and the undersea idea that I had to kind of get a picture of both above and below the water. Here I'm matching up the darker waves with where I see them on the original photo or artwork, I guess, in the middle of the card. And then I kind of trial and error process how to blend that out and get that to match, because I originally did it a little bit too dark, so I went back in with the lighter blue-green. And then I did the same thing with the sky and kind of blending in some wispy clouds and then like defining the clouds more with the white. Same white that I used to base coat it, that just cheap craft paint. And I think one of the original Pokemon cards I did, it was all the Apple Barrel craft paints. So you really don't need any fancy art paints or professional art acrylic paints to do this. The challenge in this is the color matching. So in a way, you could match up your card to the colors that are already there in the tube, but you're not going to get the exact colors. That's the challenge in this, is using your eye to blend out the colors together to get that same consistency across the card when you extend it. So now I'm kind of adding how I want the under the surface to look. I did add some sand in the bottom. And here I went back to the rock, mountain, and trees on this island that's in the back. I kind of swap back and forth as things dry. Acrylic paint, which is what I'm using, doesn't take that long to dry, but that's also sometimes a problem because you want it to be wet to be able to mix it a little bit before it dries on the actual canvas or whatever you're painting on. Now here I decided to add a little star U. So I pulled up a reference to how it kind of looked, because I didn't want just regular sea creatures under the water where Dragonair is swimming above, because if this is the Pokemon world, we have Pokemon all over and it's not regular creatures, which I did put like a regular seashell down in the bottom. But maybe that's the like hermit crab Pokemon. I think there is one, I don't remember his name, but I think that's his shell sitting there. And then I added a Corsola, that's how you pronounce it, Corsola, there in the bottom. And then I decided to add a few bubbles. I did kind of have an issue making these. I don't know why, if it was just like I felt like the colors blended too much together, and then I kind of just made little waves under the water with the darker blue that I was using for the bubbles. So I kind of just painted over it a little bit and then went back and fixed them. The Corsola, I ran into an issue with the eyes and the mouth. I just couldn't decide if I wanted to use like a fine point Sharpie or something, or paintbrush, and it was a little bit harder to use a paintbrush because I didn't really have like a tiny detail paintbrush that was like nice enough to use. Some of the ones I have that like frayed edge where it's not really a like fine point. Maybe I need to look into buying a better fine point detail brush. But here is the finished product. I had a lot of fun doing this, and I hope you enjoyed watching. Please leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe for more art videos, and also maybe suggest what Pokemon card I might be able to do next, and I'll see if I have that Pokemon. But thanks for watching!